as we all know, there's a lot of negative propaganda coming from every which way now being put out about Sean P. Diddy Combs. And on my channel, I like to balance out the scales of injustice and keep it on an even playing field, so to speak. So when they come with something that ain't right and exact, I like to stand on business and put the truth out there because Diddy ain't guilty of anything, if you ask me, other than being a freak. And although I don't agree with it, being a freak ain't no crime. Diddy ain't done nothing worse than 99.9% of people in Hollywood are doing. In fact, the bulk of people in Hollywood have done far worse. And I respect Diddy's mind, his grind, and his hustle of being a foundational Black American, being able to go from nothing to something. Because I know the adversity we face to get a leg up in this world, especially being a foundational Black American, you know. And Diddy's bulk of his problems didn't start until he had a Black awakening of the mind. See, the dominant white society give you money, resources, and things like that to be about them and to benefit the interests and the needs of them. But the moment you want to be about your people, they'll work ever so tirelessly and so um, diligently to bring you down. And this is the case of what happened to our brother Diddy. See, the difference between when white prominent people, their entertainers and celebrities are brought down versus when Black prominent entertainers and celebrities are brought down. People from the dominant white society, their celebrities and entertainers, for one, ain't brought down like that. For two, they can't convince white people, to go against their prominent celebrities and entertainers, even if they disagree with being put out there or even being said about their people. They won't disclose that in the eyes of the public. They'll keep that for closed quarters. And the problem with us is Black people is we let people from the dominant white society come in and convince us that our prominent people are bad and we shouldn't fool with them. And we believe what they tell us, then start to rally around our people and speak negatively upon our people. So in that regard, in that respect, we could take a play from the dominant white society's handbook because they understand constant codification. But I got the audio and the video of Diddy speaking several things and speaking truth to power. And this is, in my opinion, why now he's being targeted, because he had that Black awakening of the mind. So I got the audio and the video of it, family, and we're going to talk about it. Fair use.
Fair use. What I want to say about you is with social media, with all the things you've done consistently, it's been uplifting. It's a positivity that you're always putting out these things consistently. And you started Revolt TV.
This is the older interview.
Recently, 2 weeks ago, you had your first town hall. Tell us about why you started the Revolt TV and what
Listen, why he started Revolt TV.
Everyone's loving them. They're coming on weekly.
Yes. Right now, I started Revolt.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000?
Hold on, family. A commercial. I didn't want that to mess up the video, so I had to cut it down. We'll get back to it. Hold on. Here we go.
Like 6-7 years ago, and it was because in America we had no networks that were owned by African Americans, for African Americans. The lens that we're portrayed through other networks aren't who we really are, and so I wanted to actually, make a network and a platform for, African Americans, as far as, not trying to be the new BET, but giving us a voice, and it being inclusive to everybody, and the unapologetic voice of hip hop. But then as this coronavirus came, my original idea when I launched it was to gradually get up to giving and competing with CNN or the BBC,
See, Diddy understood control, owning and operating your own stuff, and he understood the power of optics. See, a lot of times we don't own these media platforms, and people are putting out negative imagery about our people, portraying us as drug dealers, our women with 6 or 7 kids, they're all different baby dads, and this just isn't who foundational Black Americans are. So we must control our own media and TV, radio, all of that stuff to be able to put positive imagery out there on our people. And he was trying to, truth be told, start this revolt to be able to compete with CNN and stuff like that. And this is something that the dominant white society couldn't allow to happen, because what happened when Michael Jackson got the Beatles catalog. They worked to bring him down. What happened when our brother Bill Cosby was trying to buy, I think it was CNN, but don't hold me to that. They worked tirelessly to bring him down. See, it's cool. They want us at a certain level, but once we try to obtain more than that certain level, this is when they work hard to bring us down. This is why I'm in favor of us building up our own black institutions from the grassroots and keeping other people out of our affairs and our business, because a lot of times when we go against the narrative that the dominant white society wants to push, when we making money with them, they pull the rug out from under us or turn the lights off on us. And I ain't in favor of that. I'm in favor of us owning and controlling all black everything. But let's continue.
That being my goal one day. And
you've used it to also introduce us to, I know about it, artists from all over the world. Like I know West Irish, from Lagos, Nigeria, so that we get to see and understand what's going on around the world on that platform.
Yeah, and so the platform is made to give us a voice. That's what it is. If we don't have a voice in the press, we're watching news networks that don't speak about our condition, where we're not a priority, where our quality of life, the information is so valuable. So we started Black News, a show on Revolt. That was always my dream to get to this point, but it really got ramped up, and so it's done in a raw way right now, and it's really getting us together, our specialists from our communities, to talk about solutions. Not just to have a conversation, to talk about solutions to the problems and all types of different subjects. So it's going to continuously grow. So everybody check out for Black News. In America, we have no Black free press. We have no representation in the press. And so that's something that I'm going to change with Revolt Black News.
You also said recently that no one's going to take care of us. We, as a race, have to take care of us. Can you explain to me that?
Yeah, no, that's just the truth. That's just the facts. When you're in a situation like this, you got to start realizing what's really going on, not just what you're seeing and what you're hearing.
Diddy right and exact with that. We can't look outside of ourselves to get something done for foundational Black Americans. We want something done, we must do it ourselves, because people stand to gain by seeing us, in hurt and depressed situations, you know what I mean, from having a lack of financial resources. The dominant white society stands to gain on that. This is why I believe in us putting money together, starting our own little businesses we could do with brothers and sisters in the community, and just building and, being on constant code with one another, because that'll bring about change. Our leg up is going to come, from constant codification with one another as foundational Black Americans. But let's continue.
Just seeing and what you're hearing. We were brought over here, and 400 years of slavery. That's a lot of time to just have us snap and forget about it, throw us out, in the community, and don't let us, get our fair share of the economy, to not have a seat at the table for any type of
See, this is essentially what they did when they released our people from slavery. They essentially released us ass naked, and we were free, but they didn't give us no 40 acres and a mule. They didn't give us, no compensation for the work we done in building this nation of America. And even them white slave owners that held us and we were viewed as the product, they got compensation for releasing us, which was their product. So they got compensation for not having us, and we never received it. But let's continue on.
Economic growth, any type of rise, any type of upward mobility, and so that's something that's extremely important. Is just us getting a chance to get out of these current, out of the past situations.
What would you do if you were leading this country?
Listen, the first thing he said he would do if he was leading the country.
That would be hard to say. You know what I'm saying? It's a difficult situation for anybody to handle. But
as you see, it's our race that is suffering.
Yeah, I would definitely, if I was leading this country, I would definitely give us reparations.
Reparations. There we go. See, Diddy had the platform to really be able to advocate for reparations, and the dominant white society said, we can't let this Negro be out here advocating for reparations. The first thing that came out of Diddy's mouth was he understood that the people that built this nation, which was foundational Black Americans, needed compensated. So he was right on the money with this.
You know, and even out the playing field and stop the injustice and the modern day genocide.
And reparations would even out the playing field. This is something that the dominant white society fears, because we could create all the institutions that they got. We can create things that rival that and be even better than that, and we won't be dumping money into their institutions. And this is something that they really don't want to happen, and that they really fear. But they're going to have to compensate and give us our just due, which is reparations. But let's continue.
I would attack that first on. I would make sure that the people that helped to build this country were taken care of. And that
ain't no helping, Diddy. We built it. Foundational Black Americans. We built the whole infrastructure. But let's continue.
There was a change. That the curse was broken of us just being, underprivileged and held back. I would definitely.
See, we as foundational Black Americans, we've helped everybody else. We fought for civil rights, immigration. We've been at the forefront of every movement. But the one person that we forgot to help in all of this is we forgot to help ourselves. This is why, now it's a new Black awakening of the mind where foundational Black Americans is looking at lineage and getting on code with one another. And I'm in agreement with that. But let's continue.
Really pay attention to who needs the help the most. Black, brown, white, anybody, but just really
there I don't agree with Diddy on that. He had to crowbar that in there. You notice he said, but the bulk of this I do agree with, but he had to crowbar that black, brown, and white and everybody in there. When these other groups of people give a damn about us and speaking up for us, and truth be told, I wish everybody well, but I'm only concerned about the needs and the interests of foundational Black Americans, because I understand this key point that in order to be about anybody and to help anyone, you must first help yourself. It starts on the home front. But let's continue.
On the poor and really using the power that we have as such a mighty country and such a rich country to solve those economic injustice problems.
Okay, so yesterday we had Anna Winter,
listen to this part,
and she had said that we should, vote for Biden. And I know that you also said before Biden needs to come and talk. I can't vote because I'm not American, but you said Biden needs to come and have a talk before he gets that Black vote. Could you talk to me about that?
Yeah, the Black vote is not going to be for free. We're going to have to see some promises. We're going to have to understand what kind of deal we're getting out of. What are we?
See, Diddy was for tangibles. He said the Black vote ain't for free, and this is where the problem is coming in now, because they expected us to just be that group of burden bearers that every other group of people get to pull themselves up on with us staying at the bottom of the potato chip bag. But now we need those resources that allocated specifically to foundational Black Americans. And this is, what they never expected, because we were expected to just keep being that loyal voting block for the Democratic plantation with getting absolutely nothing for our vote. We're the only group of people that are expected to do this. They, tell us, to vote for them, but do nothing for us, because other groups of people are getting something for their vote, resources and aid allocated to them. But we're just supposed to be cool with going along to get along and, stand on the bottom while these other groups of people get lifted up. Immigrants come over here and get a leg up, but foundational Black Americans whose ancestors built this country can't get no leg up. Damn that, and either they try to use fear tactics and tell us about the right side, and then, and then that forces some of our people, that don't know no better, to go to the left side when neither party got no plan for foundational Black Americans. The plan for foundational Black Americans should be, in my opinion, is, we got to get resources and aid allocated to us, primarily reparations, so we can get that massive leg up, and I'm in favor of just what Diddy said here, no vote, no reparations, no tangibles, no vote. And this is why they targeted Diddy, because the only thing Diddy was guilty of was being a freak, although I don't agree with it, but being a freak ain't no crime. But the moment Diddy had that black awakening of the mind and started wanting to, have his Revolt TV rival and be better than, CNN, which it could have been, and they didn't want this to happen. They couldn't allow that to happen. And the moment he started pushing for reparations and standing up for the lineage, that's where the problem came in. Diddy wasn't guilty of nothing. The only thing he was guilty of is not playing the game that the dominant white society wanted him to do. So, yeah, this is why he was being targeted. And just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.